Hello and welcome to episode 9. It's now time for the episode where I lost my footage. We arrive back in the game the following day and take a look at our newly acquired armour. This episode is mostly a review of this year's summer event and what we got, so we didn't really leave the F1 character screen, so it does become more of a rant video. I kept the audio as it was spontaneous, but added a playthrough of myself attempting the 100k score in Hero Nightfall with 2 randoms. I did describe the armour a little in detail, so I tried to add some screenshots of this. However, as I had progressed a little at this point, one piece was replaced with a better one opened from a box, and another was replaced after receiving it as a pinnacle drop from Eva. However, I accidentally upgraded it at a later date, so not everything will align in terms of numbers. I would have preferred to show more screenshots describing what I was talking about, but it was too late and I was unable to find any online. So here it is. I hope you enjoy. We're back for the final day, and I pretty much think we're finished. I can't see any way of actually progressing any further after checking what armour we've actually got. I will show you the screen I hate, but for this episode that's pretty much the only screen we'll see. With a couple of the other weapons I've actually got, 1269, 1269, 1270, with the armour which is now 1270. With my artifact which has given me a bonus of +7, we have a power level of 1276. This is where the actual issue happens from now on. Master or Grandmaster Nightfall strikes. We could do it, but again, power level is actually going to be our issue there, which is actually going to be a problem for a lot of these things. Raids completed. Well, you'll need 6 people to do that. We've only got 2. I have tried to get other people interested, but they have said they're either busy or doing something else, which again you can't do. We can't. Dungeons completed. A dungeon we can do. I've done one dungeon before, maybe I've done it a couple of times, but again that was last year and I've completely forgotten how to do it. I know it's something about dark orbs, light orbs, but that's as much as my brain can remember. Champions or competitive guardians? Well, we can do the champions in, I think it's the Hero Nightfall, but again power level. And legendary or master lost sectors, we were looking at this last night. A legendary is recommended 1310 and we are 1270-ish, I think, for both. I think Deadly's actually slightly lower. Now the issue which actually comes from this event is that we've got a total stat on this piece of 49, this one 48, this one 54, this one 57, this one doesn't have one. But with all those stats adding up, we've got stats here of a 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 4. These are CAC to actually use. And this is where the issue now comes into effect. That if we masterworked these items, you'll get a 2 across each stat. So over the 5 pieces, 2 times 5 is 1. Everything will go up 1 stat. But because of the base is so CAC to begin with, we're not going to get a good piece of armour out of it. Now there is a way around that, is if you've got to this level on 1 character, 2 characters, 3 characters, then you can go to Eva. I've turned her voices off to save my sanity. This effect here, now this is slightly different this year. Superior tier 2 armour from Solstice packages has a chance to drop with higher stats, which means when we open these boxes, as long as you've got enough keys, which I've got plenty of, then it should drop better tier gear. I don't think I've got any. But again, talking to Deadly about it, it's the whole vicious circle that we can't get it because we need powerful armour to begin with. Now we have got some armour in our vaults from last year, but they're all 1100, and because our power level hasn't hit the soft cap yet, it's going to be a waste of upgrade modules, because the average of what we've actually got on here only comes to 1269, and it's the +7 bonus of the artifact, which is helping us there. So the next time we get a prime engram or something, it should be 1276. So whatever piece we have, it will be better, because these are all 1270. That's 69, that's 69, that's 70. So that's where the whole waste of the upgrade modules come into, which is what I've been saying from the beginning. See, my voice is breaking. Last year we started, and the first blue armour we got gave us a soft cap, which I think was 1110 last year, and that solved so many issues. But the problem was it didn't give us the opportunity to do events, because we are free players. This year free players can do everything. As long as you've got a good set of armour, fully upgraded, you've got 5 other people you can do it with. So I don't really know how to explain it. Did I miss anything? I mean, for booze and giggles, try and keep it all clean. we will go and try and do the Lost Sector, but again, I just can't see us doing it, because this piece of armour isn't worth upgrading because the stats are awful. One of the artifact bonuses, this one, when you ready or reload a grenade launcher for a short period, that weapon stuns unstoppable champions. That's what you need for Nightfall stuff. But that costs 7 energy, which means we'd have to upgrade, I think that might have been the arms, we'd have to upgrade that from 1 to 7, which after 5 it then costs enhancement calls and stuff, but we'd be doing it on an awful piece. If I go get another piece of armour out and upgrade module that, it'll be a good piece of armour, but then we'd be wasting upgrade modules on it every time because we haven't reached the soft cap. And the whole point of doing it in the event is that while you're doing it in the event, if you've completed it across all 3 characters, you get a better chance of that piece with better stats. You just can't do it. It's not something that a free player can really do because you're limited. A new player can't do it because you just haven't got the knowledge of knowing what you're doing. And a returning player like what I class us as, we just can't do it. I do like the game, and again, this is going to be the issue that comes across. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Sounds like you hate it. And there's areas which I really hate, and this is one of the things. I can't play this game every day of my life for 3 hours or whatever it is a day to keep it going. You just can't do it. For someone who plays regularly, to get yourself involved with a clan or a group of people, you're always going to be out of the loop, and they're never going to want you to be a part of them if they're doing it. Casual players just can't do it. You'd have to commit so much of your time to just this one game to progress any further. And my end game as a free player is competing or being competitive in PvP, and it's a very time consuming part, but it is possible. So the only other way of like negating this is to do pinnacle pinnacle tasks and powerful gear tasks weekly, which will get your power cap, up to the soft cap and then the hard cap, and then hopefully you'd get good armor and stuff out of that. But again, for this, for not starting you at the soft cap, it's really ruined the whole experience. You got any words to add? I mean, I've already had to explain this once to Deadly before I even started speaking, because there's just so many different areas that you've got to look at, and it's so difficult to know what you're doing. And I know what I'm doing this time round, but it's just not possible. That's why I got so agitated early on in like episode 2, because I was just stunned that the power cap was so low, and I can't remember where we are now in terms of the season. 3 weeks we've got for the season. I don't know what happens in season 15. I don't know if everyone starts off at a level playing field again. It's just hard to understand, really. But there's no point for on the last day. There's no point to rush it to actually do it. Last year, I've still got last year's gear, and it's still there, and it's still got these boxes waiting to be filled in with a green square. But again, that armour is rubbish. You've got no chance of upgrading it, and that's really the main aspect. It's getting good armour. If you get good armour, you then have to have the armour, or the stats within the armour, in the areas that you want it. And I haven't really played with a warlock fully to play around and decide what I want. Do I want good movement? Do I want to have good intellect? I probably do, actually, because I just like to Nova bomb everything. But you have to make sure that when you look at the individual pieces, that the points that you actually have on those pieces are in the stat that you actually want. So I mean that this one's quite good. Intellect plus 22. If you're playing as a hunter, it's easy that you want your movement stat high. So when you're looking at these, anything with a low movement stat, like this one too, it's rubbish. You wouldn't use it. So it's all about getting the right points in the right areas, and the problem is it's just so hard to get anything. And that's what you kind of need. You need to have a good set to kind of jump from. Whether or not Bungie implement some form of just a blue structured armour, which isn't legendary purple or exotic or anything like that, but just something for you to be competitive enough. And I know it's difficult saying it as a free player compared to people who have paid all this money and has played for that length of time, but you can't come into a game this late and expect to be teased into purchasing it, because as soon as you buy it, you've lost the story because they've removed it. You've got so much to catch up on that when you do any of the high-end stuff, you just can't do it, because one, you don't know how to do it, and you haven't got the gear to go along with it. It's just so hard to do. And obviously we've now been playing for a year, and it's just so hard for me to explain that and try and do it in points. Been trying to think of how a new player would actually start it, and it's just so hard, and so hard to describe what you need to do and the order in which to do it. Have you got anything to say going on from that? I've bored Deadly, and he's now either fallen asleep or just given up. Oh, he's back. We will give it a go, and we'll come back, or I'll just put a text up on screen if we tried it, we failed. But I just can't use this armour. It's not worth upgrading. I mean, I've got 45 enhancement cores, I've got 9 enhancement prisms, I've got 4. That I'm definitely not going that far. It's just not worthwhile. Or the other option is just looking in the boxes in the vault and just seeing what my other pieces are like, which I'll probably have a look at, but then we're going to have to start using upgrade modules, and the thing is, it's not going to be 1270. Because if I look at the other pieces I've got, that's only 1263, and the whole point is, no matter what we do, because we've just got this and we've got that, anything we collect out of a box or anything has a chance to then be higher, because we've just got an additional boost of having this armour. You can't do it now, because just doing some other little bits and pieces then increases this number. That's why it's so hard. You need to get to the soft cap. Do you think we should just give up on doing these and doing it once we've hit a soft cap? 1310. But the point is, we still won't be able to. Oh my goodness, we still won't be able to do that. Actually, we probably would be able to do this. Maybe even the two of us, because we know what we're doing. We just ain't got the power to do it. Raids. Well, we can't do the raid because we need more people. Can't do the dungeon because I just can't remember it. That we can do, but then if we do it at a later date, we won't get the bonus, which isn't too fine, but then we'll be doing it for a piece of armour that's even not worth doing. See, it's not worth doing it. I've just convinced myself it's just not worth doing it on this piece of armour. Even if it came to the stage of, you know, we were able to play last week when you weren't able to get on. If you came on Tuesday and Wednesday, today would be Wednesday, we'd still have a good few days to finish it off, but again, we still wouldn't have been able to do that this one, because we wouldn't have had the people to do it. You just can't do it. New players, returning players, you can't do it unless you're within a community consistently. It's not benefiting it. I've seen a couple of videos of people who do of Destiny 2 saying that this year is actually better than last year. I completely disagree. Last year was better. Is it easier this year? Yes. Yes, entirely. Yes, it is easier. From the hassle we had with the strikes, we had to do 5 strikes. This time round, we only had to do 1. I can't remember what we did with the kills in the Crucible and stuff like that. I think that was very similar. But it's very easy. I did 2 in one night. 3 hours I managed to get both my Hunter and my Titan complete their first set of armour. It's easier, yes. So if you are an experienced and you've got that level of armour capped already because you're continuously playing, is it better for you? Probably, because you've already got that advantage. But to start off, you've just got no chance. You really haven't. A new player would not have been able to do it because you can't get yourself in. If you started 4 weeks ago and you realised that you needed 5 other people and you got into communities and trying to talk to, would they help you? Probably not, honestly. I've met some people who are that way inclined. Oh, you don't know what you're doing, what's the point of investing my time into it? You're on your own. I just can't see it happening. I don't think it's possible. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone's been lucky. But that comes down to Bungie not having certain things open for matchmaking. Why they don't have it, I don't understand. You got matchmaking on the first 2 levels of Nightfalls. Anything after that, you have to have your own group. That hinders the game and individual people so much. The way that you can't talk to people, you can't put text on the screen. But even though I've got a profanity filter on in the game, switched on, I still get players coming in from Steam with racist names. That's going off on a tangent, but the fact is, like, how do you talk to people in this game? How do you... No one talks. If I played any of the other games like I used to, like Left 4 Dead, you joined a lobby, you're playing the game, you turn your mic, there's always someone there with a mic who's able to talk. In this game, nothing. You're all on your own. So why can't you do it on your own? You just can't. Right, so I've been going almost 20 minutes now.
There's only one data artifact here.
I'll stop and we'll have a discussion, and then we'll see what we'll actually decide to do. So all that happened about 2 weeks ago, and I did do a little update after that recording, but again that recording also didn't have any video, so 2 weeks later is more of an updated version. We decided to persist with going after the soft cap. I've almost hit 1300 myself. Deadly's a lot lower than that, but we went to a lost sector, which ironically or coincidentally is the same as what it is today. Both of them are. I hate this screen, I apologise, and that's not even the screen I want to show. But they're both on the Cosmodrome, and we just couldn't do it. This one we tried to do, we just couldn't do it. We got in. I think they've actually swapped over. This was actually the legendary one. We got through some of the tunnels, got right to the end. Champion came out, shot us, single shot both. We both died. He was hugging the corner. We just couldn't do anything about it, so we gave up with that one. So that's Master, and then the other one. Oh, actually, it's not. Oh, God, I'm confused myself. The other one's on the Empty Vessel or something on Tangled Shore. But we couldn't do it, so we went and did the heroic Nightfall to get our 15 kills, which I've got glowing trousers. Look at them, they glow. So that's really what happened. Nothing really came out of it. We're still going. We've now got only a week left. It's now the Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, plus a week, everything then reset. So we're going to try this week to try and do it. But we're probably going to have to really be lucky with what map it is, really. I mean, since I lost all your mic footage, was there anything you wanted to add now that you got the opportunity?
No.
Pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna keep going. Just wanted to end the episode that we're still actually doing it, but there's really nothing really to update you on. But I'll want to try and record it, and we'll see what happens. So it was a long rant, like I said, but that was spare of the moment. Came back into the game, had a look at the armour. And then it just came out. It just all came out of me. I could have perhaps redone it again, but the moment had passed. So anything after that would have been like pre-scripted, whereas that was just raw. And Deadly quite likes raw. But anyway, we'll
Who doesn't?
hopefully see you in an update. So bye bye everyone. Bye bye.
Later, skater.